This is the Frank and Friends show. Hi, I'm Frank Murphy.
Hi, I'm Sarah Roberto.
Sarah, welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
I must have thought of you last year at this time and this year at your time because I wished you a happy birthday. I always remember your birthday because we would see each other at the Rossini Festival or at some event. And then I thought, well, why don't you come back on the show? Where have you been all year?
I was waiting for you to message me.
Waiting.
Just sitting by the phone.
Just standing by.
Waiting.
Well, I'm glad that you're here. I'm so glad
happy
that you're
to be here. It's always fun.
Please do follow us on all the social medias and especially subscribe on YouTube because now we're above 900.
What?
I know, but I look at the analytics, so we'll like gain 2, lose 1. Gain 2, lose 1. I'm like, it's a very slow crawl.
Crushing it.
To get to 1,000.
Yes.
But if you can help us out because of Sarah, do it for the children. Do it for Sarah. And also, you can support us with our fabulous Frank and Friends show merchandise, like the beautiful beach towel.
Very
or
nice.
I have a photo of listener and viewer April with her bucket hat. And I'll put that on the screen.
I almost spit out my beverage.
Oh, because I said,
Bucket hat.
bucket, we'll do it live. Which is probably what I should have put on the bucket hat. But
Missed opportunity.
yeah, I know. Well, anyway, it says Frank and Friends, and as you can see, April is modeling it. She came to one of our
Oh my gosh.
Einstein Simplified comedy shows wearing the bucket. I challenged her.
that.
She said she was going to come, and I said, well, I dare you to wear the bucket hat, and she did.
Okay, I need to be someone that orders the bucket hat as well.
It's easy to find. You go to frankandfriendsshow.com/store to find all of the merch, like the mugs, like the beautiful canvas print, like the beach towel, like the bucket hat.
All the goodies.
The t-shirts, the hoodies, the things. So not only am I delighted that you're here, I'm so happy that you went to the bathroom. Because
Thanks for sharing that.
I spend
with
all
your
this,
audience.
because I clean it for the guests.
Yes, it was very clean.
And good.
It's a good bathroom experience.
I want the smell of bleach to hit you when you walk in there.
It's invigorating.
And you texted me like 2 or 3 hours ago to make sure everything was set for today. And that's the point when I was cleaning the bathroom, because although I want it to reek of cleanser and bleach, I don't want your skin to burn from the
My eyes are a little watery.
direct contact with all of the disinfectant that I used on the toilet seat.
Right. I'm okay. I came out unscathed.
Yes.
It's good.
But I don't. It's not just for you, Princess. I will point out that when Frady comes over or anybody, any of the guests, I'll always do that because
just keep everything good and clean.
you know, if I had more energy, I'd clean the whole house. But I
Yeah.
think I got to start somewhere.
You have to start somewhere.
Got to start somewhere.
Proactive.
So
That's great.
you and I have known each other a long time, and I've got a question because you're a lifelong Tennessean, right?
East Tennessean.
Okay.
Born and raised in Oak Ridge.
Okay.
Lived in Knoxville pretty much my whole life, yeah.
Oh wow.
Not pretty much. My whole life.
Your whole life.
Yeah, my whole
But you've
natural
traveled
life.
the globe. You've had a chance to get around.
I'm not the most well-traveled person. I'm aiming to be more,
Okay.
like travel more.
Where would you like to go?
Oh my goodness, everywhere. I think Ireland would be at the top of my list.
You've got to go to Ireland. That's beautiful.
I
That's
know.
one of the things that my wife and I went. And really, it's an old story because at my father's funeral, I'm standing there with my mom, and some people come up to her and they're just making small talk, going, "Oh yeah, we hope to go to Ireland one of these days." And my mother looks over at the dead body and she says, "Do it now. What are you waiting for?"
Oh, that's a
And
nice
they're like,
lesson.
So they went and they contacted her later and said, "Thanks for telling us." And then my mother eventually did get to go to Ireland, you know, with her second husband, who also later died, but at least she got to go.
There's a story there that
I
we
know.
haven't talked about.
The nerve of him. He dropped dead on their second wedding anniversary. I'm like, come on, dude. You could've
Really?
held it. Yeah.
That's
Well,
terrible.
anyway,
But Ireland,
it's beautiful.
it's beautiful.
So I highly recommend going to Carlingford, which is on the east coast of Ireland. It's almost practically Northern Ireland. It's way up there. But that's where the Leprechaun Whisperer lives.
I thought you were just going to give me some Lucky Charms. I wasn't really sure.
No, there's a guy there. There's Kevin Woods, his name is. His brother is Father Michael Woods, who used to be at St. Mary's and All Saints and is now out at St. Francis in Fairfield Glade. He's from Carlingford. His whole family is there. They run all the bed and breakfast and the restaurants. The Woods, the clan of Woods, they're in the hospitality business over there.
Nice.
And his brother has got this bed and breakfast. It's called Shalom, I believe is the name of it.
Okay.
But he's also got this scam going where he's got the leprechaun cave down in the backyard. And you pay him like
what do you see?
€7, and he takes you down into the leprechaun cave, and he tells you all about the leprechauns. And he's also managed to get the government to declare leprechauns a protected species on the mountain behind his property. And there's a sign, an official sign from the European Union.
So, do leprechauns really exist?
No.
just wanted to make sure. I'm not that well traveled.
No. Now there's a theory.
Man.
There's a theory that we had two types of people in the early days, where you had, the invading Visigoth. I have to look up and see who it was. The Anglos and the Saxons, or the whomevers, and these big hulking, huge people come over.
Okay.
And they encounter these diminutive. But I mean, we would just call them short by our standards.
Yes,
5 feet tall, right?
Petite.
Yeah, people,
Okay.
and that's where the legend of the relatively small leprechaun may have come from.
Ah, okay. Now
They might just be short people, and then it got exaggerated to the point where they became wee people.
Yes.
Anyway.
I would love to have a wee friend.
You have a dog.
I do, but he stopped wee-weeing on all my stuff like a year ago. He grew out.
What's your dog's name again?
Baby Bear.
Baby Bear.
Baby Bear. Yeah. He's gained some weight since I've had him, though. I've started giving him what I call tiny bites. So whatever I'm eating, I give him a little tiny bite of it. My husband hates that because he thinks I'm spoiling him.
My grandmother and my sister, they both would feed their dogs with people food, and the dogs just kept getting fatter and fatter.
Yeah. Well, he's gained like 2 pounds, which for a 10-pound dog is pretty significant.
They had larger dogs than you, but I mean, they were fat.
Yeah, but he really likes cheese, so that's his thing, is cheese. If you open the refrigerator door at all, and you hear any rustle, he's on you. Like, he's just like, what do you got?
No, I understand that.
Give me the cheese.
Well, the cat next door, I occasionally will feed the cat next door, but now the cat will come over here and start meowing at me, and then will attack my leg to draw blood with his teeth and his claws. He'll go, ah, if I start to walk away from him. And I don't have any cat food over here.
Because he's letting you know. We could put out some milk. Soft serve milk. Maybe warm it up a little. That baby is starving. You got to feed him.
Actually, there was a day that my wife and I went to the store. And then I think we went all the way over to Sevierville to film the Andy's Frozen Custard episode. And I saw that. And I get back home, and there's the milk out on the counter. I forgot to put it in the fridge. So you're saying I could have used that milk to feed the cat.
Oh, but I want to talk about custard, because I think that's like my favorite thing in life.
Well, they're opening one on Cedar Bluff and one on Kingston Pike this summer.
Oh, man.
This is Andy's Frozen Custard.
I got to plan my next diet around this because
I think you guys live closer to the one that would be just coming down Bearden Hill. You know where Krispy Kreme is? The old Arnwine's furniture location.
That's where it's going in.
That's Andy's Frozen Custard.
My husband did the zoning for that.
Because thank goodness, because there was a holdup.
I'm going to say something controversial. The people that own a business next door were really mad.
It was in the paper.
Yeah, because there you go. So you're on top of it too. So who gets mad at ice cream? Ice cream is the most beautiful thing that God ever gave to us.
I know.
Name a better dessert.
You're right. I love ice cream. I mean, I worked in an ice cream store in high school.
And
then custard has more eggs, more fat, less air. It's all the good things.
More sugar.
So much better. And they use great ingredients. So it's not an ad for Andy's. I'm just saying I love their stuff. And I'm looking forward to when it opens. But the drive-through line will be insane.
Yeah.
Which is why the little animal hospital next door they're looking at the reality of the situation. So what ended up happening, I believe, is they redid the blueprints for Andy's and scooched it over a little bit on the property to create just a little more room between them and the animal hospital.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Solutions.
And then the other one is going to be on Cedar Bluff at Fox Lonas.
Okay.
So you know where Catholic High School is and All Saints.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be across the street.
Ice cream for everybody.
And you know where it's like right in front of, is it not Gulf Park? I think it's Gulf Wood. It's either Gulf Wood or Gulf Park. Gulf Park, I don't know. Gulf Park Sharks, Gulf Wood Gators. So I think it's Gulf Park then.
Okay. But anyway, they get ice cream too.
It's going to be right in front of that at the corner of Fox Lonas and Cedar Bluff. So I'm very excited about all of those things. Of course, I also need to go on a diet.
I'm doing that right now.
I ordered some stuff off the internet that's supposed to be delivered today.
Okay.
Some magic powder. And my wife is...
Did you order off social media?
Well, YouTube.
See, yeah. Let me know how that goes.
This YouTube commercial comes on and says, I know you're old. I know you're fat. I know what you need. You've got no energy. I was a heart transplant doctor, but I was old and fat. But look what I've done. I brought in the most expensive ingredients in the world because I can afford it, but you can't. So I've crushed them into a powder, and I'll sell it to you.
What else is in that powder?
I don't know. I imagine snake oil.
So do you snort it? Do you
I haven't gotten
put
here
it
yet.
in water and swirl it around like a tea?
They emailed me this morning that it's out for delivery, so I'll have to next episode.
You're being serious about this. Oh man.
Oh, did it come off as a joke up until this point?
I'm not sure what to think at this point. I'm a little nervous about what you're putting in your body.
Well, it's like acai and blueberries and currants.
Supplements. You got to be careful with some of that stuff. Just people get it off Amazon. You don't know what's in that stuff.
Well, that's the whole point of buying it is they tell you what's in the stuff. Like, these are the ingredients that you should be eating.
Yeah, so it's like a supplement.
Yeah, so
maybe it's safe.
I hope so.
Maybe you won't
What are you
die.
eating?
What am I eating?
Or nothing.
I'm eating nothing. I drink like a gallon of water a day. And I just turned 44, like in April.
God bless you. I wouldn't have known.
It's a very different thing to lose weight in your 40s than it is in your 30s.
I did lose weight in my 50s, 40s.
Yeah,
and
it's hard.
And it was difficult, but then the problem is I gained it back. I mean, it's been
that's what we do.
15, 20 years since I lost the weight. Now I gained it back.
It slowly comes back. And then during the pandemic, my doctor says it wasn't the COVID-19, it was the COVID-20. That's what everybody did is they put on about 20 pounds. So when he's seeing folks coming in, and that's kind of what he said to me. Unfortunately, I got COVID for the first time last year. I avoided it all that whole time. And then got it last year.
Was it bad?
So I got it twice. I got it in July and December after avoiding it for almost 3 years.
You didn't get. I thought when you get it, then you're supposed to get immunity to it.
Supposedly, but I got it in July and it was like a little cold. It was not.
I know a few people. I've heard of several people who've gotten it 2 and 3 times, and I'm baffled by it because
I am too. I was shocked
because I don't have a lot of places to go that much anymore. I mean, I'm not out there.
I went to a concert. That's how I got it the second time.
What concert?
I went to see Jason Isbell in the 400 unit.
So you're going to blame him?
Yeah. Yeah. I was sending my bill. But it's actually a good thing because when I went, they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me because I was testing negative for COVID. They took blood work and they said, you need to come back next week when you're feeling better.
Okay.
And they got mad at me and they said, you need to take better care of yourself. And so that's what I'm doing.
Oh, so they put you on a diet?
It didn't put me on a diet so much as it's like, get your ish together.
Yeah.
You're going to be 44, and it's time to eat like an adult.
See, the reason...
And not like a kid.
The only reason I successfully lost weight is I basically got paid to do... was told to do these commercials for a weight loss center.
Okay.
And, I wanted... And if you don't continue doing the successful program, they take the commercials away from you and somebody else, they give them to somebody else,
They find some other skinnier person.
So... So I thought, well, I'm going to really do it.
Yeah.
And I followed it to the letter, and I lost the weight, and I was very happy.
How much did you lose, if you don't mind me asking, at that time?
60 pounds.
Wow, that's serious.
Yeah, people thought I had cancer.
Isn't that how it works? Hey, man, you're a little chubby. Hey, man, you lost weight. Are you sick?
Yeah, this Mike Stahl from UT, Dr. Mike Stahl, is a business professor.
Yeah.
Do you know him?
No.
Okay.
No idea who he is.
Well, you have a business degree, and you have degrees, and you're famous. And anyway, he pulls me aside at church and says, I'm worried about you, Are you sick? Do we need to add you to the prayer list?
So nobody said that to me when I got divorced and I lost all my weight the last time. Because nothing will help you lose weight like a wedding or a divorce. It's really on either end. Like if that wedding dress is coming towards you, you're like, oh crap, I gotta lose this. And then this idea that you're unlovable for the rest of your life and you're damaged, it will really help you drop weight.
See, that I would think, now I'm glad to hear you say that because I would think the opposite. I would think with that kind of tragedy in my life that I would just balloon up.
Some people
to be the other way, you know?
No, I truly thought like my life was over, and it wasn't.
No, you did fine.
It was good, yeah.
You came out ahead.
Yeah. No,
do you ever hear from the ex?
I don't. No. No. But nice guy, nice family, all good.
Yeah.
It's East Tennessee. Like, look, the biggest thing, if you're listening and you're kind of local, be nice to people.
Oh, yeah, you'll see them again.
You will see them again. Mm-hmm. And you will, if you're rude to somebody, like somebody cuts you off and you yell at them, you're going to be standing next in line to them at Food City or something. I'm just telling you.
Believe that entirely. Yes, I'm very careful. I don't want to. I've got friends who will get angry in the car. I'm like, settle down.
I do, but I mutter it under my breath like a lady.
Well, you can tell Mercedes to get.
Yes.
Mercedes, I'm so mad right now.
And it turns on the butt warmers or something. It calms me down. It turns on the spa music and says, let's just take a minute.
Yeah.
Breathe.
Does it really?
No.
I mean, you could. I bet you could program
it
it to do that.
Yeah. I can get rid of that car, though. It's kind of stupid. Like, why did I do that? Why'd you let me do that?
Was it brand new the last year when you came here?
Yeah. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of money.
Of course it is.
It's a waste of money buying a car like that.
I always want the cheapest car I can. I mean, the nicest cheap car I can afford.
Yeah, that's good on gas.
Because I want it to last for a long time.
Yes.
So when I finally had to get a new car, I got one that I feel can take me almost 15, 20 years like the last one did.
Yes.
And then I'll be fine again. I'll get another one in 50, if I'm still alive,
You're just like my husband. He drove a 2007 Toyota Highlander for like
all the way.
17 years.
Take it all the way in.
Well, now our daughter's driving it.
Yeah.
Much to her chagrin, because she's like, why do I have this old car? But it's great. It goes.
I mean, you and I both know that you go to some of the high schools in this area, it is like a luxury car lot. It's shocking when you see the Range Rovers and the...
At 16?
Yeah, I don't know how old the kids are. I'm just saying
17, 18, yeah.
When the parking lot is your shares with the church, and I'm going to the church for a funeral or something like that, and you're driving past all of these super expensive cars.
No, I don't think that's good to give to a teenager at that age.
My first car.
Ooh.
When we bought for $100 from a neighbor. Actually, he was on the council, city council.
$100?
Yeah.
In what year? 19.
It was in the 70s. Okay. So, but the car, let's see, if this would have been 19, I probably bought the car in 79, 8 or 9.
Okay, the year I was born. Yeah.
And it was a 1972 Ford Maverick.
Nice.
So
that's a fun one.
It had like a hole in the floorboard,
Yeah. You could do a little Fred Flintstone.
Yeah, and then eventually got into a wreck and had to have the front fender replaced, but they couldn't match the colors, so I had a yellow car with a red front fender.
Yeah. I had a 1987 Chrysler LeBaron convertible. See? The whole inside was vinyl. Like you could throw up on it and just hose it down with a hose.
Oh, yeah.
And it went like 40 miles an hour.
Sure.
And the top didn't go up or down. Like once you had it,
I only had AM radio.
Yeah.
So I'd be listening to 66 WNBC. And WABC and all these, disco songs. That's I'm driving home.
Back when we listened to radio, like everybody listened to radio.
I still work in the radio business.
No, I know, but...
In fact, I will tell you, I'm currently doing 2 shows a day.
Okay.
But I've also got to do a commercial for my friends at bonezones.com. Don't forget the S. Because Dr. Bill Bass, you can get his books like Death's Acre,
nice.
Carved in Bone. This is nonfiction. This one's nonfiction. Tells the story, the origins of the body farm. This is the first in the fiction series. If you want like a mystery, kind of a thriller.
Very cool.
And trying to figure out who did it and all the things.
Good beach reading.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Seems like good beach reading.
And because you grew up around here, all of the local references will get you.
Oh yeah.
You'll love all of that.
Well,
so this one takes place kind of in Cock County, but obviously the fictional Dr. Brockton, works at UT, and he talks about driving the different roads.
How fun.
And
there's Dr. Bass.
Other merchandise you can get, including now, I guess I need to get the short sleeve t-shirt back out. But this is the long sleeve Bone Zones tee with the body farm on the front.
You won't catch me wearing any skeletons. I get very scared very easily.
Oh, maybe you'd like the paperweight. Do you need the paperweight?
Uh-oh.
This is one of my favorite items.
Uh-oh.
No?
I get scared really easily. I don't do horror movies or Halloween or, oh no.
It's autographed by Dr. Bill Bass.
No.
No?
There's a very serious coolness factor with this, but no.
Well, anyway, obviously he studies human decomposition, so there's a lot of that going on.
Seriously, what a fascinating endeavor, though.
But Bone Zones, Dr. Bass is pretty much done with public speaking. Yeah. So, I occasionally go out and will represent him and do the life story of Dr. Bass.
Nice.
Like I spoke to the homicide detectives in Gatlinburg last month.
What do they investigate? Like
homicides.
Funnel cake homicides?
No.
I'm just trying to think of
they're from all over they're having their convention in Gatlinburg. They're from all over the country.
Oh, I gotcha.
They travel to Gatlinburg because it's a fun vacation. Mm-hmm. But then at 8:30 in the morning, they're all there in the classroom setting, ready to watch me talk for half an hour about the Dr. Bass and the history of the body farm.
Gotcha.
And then an actual forensic anthropologist, Dr. Hugh Berryman, comes up and does the, how to identify bones in the wild speech, the real thing that they're there to learn. I was just a warm-up. But I got paid. Anyway.
I thought it was like a Gatlinburg only,
No.
And think about the homicides they would investigate. How weird that would be, like somebody fell off the Wild Eagle at Dollywood.
It seems like there's a book in that,
Yeah.
Don't you think?
There's something there.
Yeah. So get John Jefferson on the phone. So, speaking of books.
Yeah. What you got here?
Bonezones.com, don't forget the S, has also expanded to offer these great Sam Venable humor books.
Oh, love him.
So everybody loves Sam Venable.
Yeah.
And these are all autographed as well. So you can get...
I didn't know that he was a jokester. Yeah, that's like a real deal right there.
Yeah, this product contains nuttiness. Someday I may find honest work. Anyway, they're fun. They're fun reads and also very great for people who love Tennessee. And then...
Oh, yeah.
You may... since your husband's a lawyer, you may remember...
I don't talk about that too often. People don't like lawyers.
But Ron Ledbetter, who was the counsel, the lawyer for the University of Tennessee for a long time. You know him?
No.
You've heard of him?
No.
Okay. He's written a book. He's written his memoir, and we're going to help him sell it through Bone Zones, autographed copies through Bone Zones, and, set up some public speaking for him to tell his amazing journey.
Nice. I love that you're promoting local and reading.
Yeah.
Both great things.
Oh, sure. I even emceed the Friends of Literacy Gala. Hello.
Did you do that last year?
This year and last year. I've done it multiple times, and the Frank and Friends show is a media sponsor of it.
Nice. That's one of the best, charitable...
That's bonezones.com, don't forget the S. So you're a fan of... you need to come to the gala.
I do. I've been in the past. It's just been a minute.
It used to be a luncheon. The Friends of Literacy East Tennessee Writers Hall of Fame used to be a luncheon. Well, they've upgraded it to a gala in the spring. It used to be a luncheon in the fall. So you know how you have to...
sometimes they got to move it. Yeah.
You know nonprofits. You get nonprofits.
Yes.
So you'll take this event. You say this event is working, but there's too many components to it, and it's a luncheon. So I'm going to split it up and keep the luncheon component, and we're going to talk about the students, but the writers, we're going to move that to a dinner gala.
I got a controversial opinion about that. When you have events in East Tennessee, you don't mess with them. You don't mess with them.
But this helped. Both events. So they used to do the what is it called? The bachelor auction.
Oh yeah.
And that had run its course.
Okay, yeah. It's hard to find men to a certain point to do it. Would it be weird if they had women too? I don't know. That's just like a whole sticky wicket.
Well, you could have an event for that. I mean, except it would seem in poor taste to have a bachelorette auction. Now I remember. I think I was bad enough. I'm at the bachelor auction one year, and I'll tell this story because it's funny. And the late great Spanky Brown is a dear friend and a great comedian, and he's being auctioned off. And I felt that I knew him. He's African American. I felt that I knew him well enough to say, "Are they seriously auctioning off a date with you to go on a boat? You're going to sell you and put you on a ship? Is that seriously what we're doing here?"
That sounds like a lovely afternoon.
So he thought that was so hilarious that he incorporated that into his act.
Okay.
And for years. So
did he get purchased?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to go on a date with Spanky Brown?
I just remembered what I remember about the Friends of Literacy. Andrew was asked to do that the first year we were together.
Your husband?
Yes, but we weren't like together. Like we were dating, but we weren't like public yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, you've got to do it.
Oh, so that people think you're still single?
Yeah. I was like, so you've got to do it.
And did he do it?
No, because he didn't end up doing it.
Well, it was a wild, Dina Cartwright would host it, and the thing was just wild. And they'd have like lap dances on the stage. It was insane.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Because you'd have like these...
I'm glad I didn't encourage you.
He would get all these firefighters to come up there, and Dina would be so excited, and he would like get the firefighters to take their shirts off on the stage. It was wild.
Wow.
But
sounds fun.
At some point...
Sounds great. Why did they get rid of this?
I don't know. Well, it made money for the charity, but at some point, it's like the front page follies. Yeah. At some point, the event just has to go away.
Yeah. It runs its course.
Right.
Yeah, I got you.
So it went away, and they decided they'll take the the East Tennessee Writers Hall of Fame dinner and make that the gala.
Okay.
And it's actually a very lovely event, but it's a more serious event because people get up there and read from their works, and you're inducting all these people into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And they get me to MC it because I'm nice.
Do they make you gyrate though? Did they carry that over?
Make me what?
Gyrate.
I do it naturally. But you can't see it because I'm behind a podium.
Okay, they put you behind modesty.
Yeah, but there's a spotter behind me to make sure. Make sure he's gyrating. Keep gyrating.
Go. Okay.
So all
there's
these,
water in these cups.
Yeah,
I have to always say that.
I know.
We're not
So
drinking.
you should please come to the gala. It won't be until 10 months from now.
Okay.
But
I will be there.
I hope you'll come.
Yeah, it's a great cause.
My
too.
friend Ann McKinney bought tickets this year. She didn't even know it existed, but she sent me an email saying, "You guys are always doing things."
Now,
my wife
she
and
the
me.
attorney? Like the,
Yes.
Yeah.
You know her?
Yes.
Do you know any of these people? You keep acting like you know all of the
I do
same
know Ann
people.
McKinney. Like, not personally, but I know, like, she did, like, estate planning for everybody I know.
Yeah, including me.
Yeah, there you go.
So she sends,
you're in good hands.
She sends an email to Jerry and me and says, I'm kind of finally starting to slow down. She's phasing out. She's eventually trying to retire. But, she can't.
She did my grandmother's estate.
I know. She's trying to retire, but she loves her work
awesome.
and she's so good at her work, but she's gradually cutting back. So she sends me an email and says, "You and Jerry always are doing things. Tell me what's on your calendar. Would you mind emailing me every couple of months and tell me what's up?"
Fun stuff, yeah.
So I
That's a good
emailed
idea.
her about the Friends of Literacy, and she's like, "Perfect, I'm buying a table."
Oh,
And then I get an email later, "Someone canceled. Do you know anyone who can fill my
That's true.
spot at the table?"
that is such a thing we have to do all the time because my husband's always doing the same thing.
But I knew people.
Yeah.
I didn't send you. I should have sent you, but I sent some other people who had been involved with Anne in the Front Page Follies.
Nice,
They had
yeah.
a lovely time. So they were all friendly, and it worked out just great. And
That's awesome.
that whole thing was very much Front Page Folly-ish because you have a lot of journalism people and writers who, there's a lot of heavy crossovers. You're looking around the room going, "There's the guy who used to write the Front Page Follies. There's the guy who used to direct the Front Page Follies. There's the guy
Yeah.
who used
Fun.
to act in it." So anyhow, that's that. And I'm happy to be the media sponsor for it because I got my logo up there on the screen.
Yeah. That's
All right.
awesome.
So I started by asking you if you think of yourself as a Tennessean, and you answered, obviously, you're a
Absolutely.
lifelong Tennessean.
Yeah. There's nothing else for me to be.
And, because I have choices.
You do.
And I got a text from my friend Bean over the weekend. And he just, I don't know, out of the blue, he'd driven up to Tennessee to go see Taylor Swift.
Like this weekend.
Yeah, he lives in New Orleans. So he drove up all day Friday, went to the Taylor Swift concert,
I'm so jealous.
and then drove
I wanna go to
home
that.
all day Saturday back to New Orleans.
Yeah.
In fact, the picture
That's
he said,
dedication.
I thought he was really close to Taylor Swift.
Did he bring anybody else with him or just go by himself?
He went by himself.
Wow, that's dedication.
He loves Taylor Swift.
Plus, those tickets were like outrageously expensive. We
He's
bought one for
very
my-
wealthy.
Oh, okay. Well, we bought one for my daughter.
Well, so
That was her
here, see,
Christmas
this
present.
is I thought he was this close to Taylor Swift, but he actually, I don't know how I can show that to you without it looking like a blur, but he said he zoomed in. Because
Yes, I mean that's incredible. And Taylor Swift is going to be the next Dolly Parton.
sure.
Mark my words.
I mean, I years ago, I predicted that Bruno Mars was going to be the next Michael Jackson.
Oh, boo!
I know, I got a lot of that. But in reality, if you were trying to pick the next superstar,
Yeah.
it would have been Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is clearly the next
I don't know
next
if I saw
level.
that coming though.
No one did.
Yeah,
that's the
she's
beauty of
amazing.
it. That's
Yeah.
the beauty of it is she's selling out arena shows that Bean described. It's like the Olympics opening ceremony.
Oh my gosh! In 2023,
Not
when
arena shows, stadium shows.
she started her career in like 2006, 7, like a hot minute ago.
know.
It's cool to have that kind of staying power, especially think about how different the music industry is versus when Michael Jackson was popular.
Right,
when,
and part of it is she's reinventing it. By re-recording all of her
re-recording all of
songs.
her albums.
like-
Yeah, she's genius.
So I wrote to Bean and said, I hope she does some songs people recognize instead of playing all her new tunes.
See, I like all of her new stuff.
It doesn't matter. It was a joke because
Yeah.
the whole audience knows everything. They're
Yes,
obsessed.
they do.
And I was amazed how many of my Facebook and Instagram friends were there, not only in
Oh, totally.
Nashville,
Yeah.
but in Atlanta the week
Yes,
before.
yeah.
And how many of them went to both?
Both. Yeah. Where do these people find this money? I don't know. Because think about the economic impact there, and I mean, not to mention how much money Taylor herself is making.
Well, I saw a picture, an
retire after this.
aerial picture of all of the semi trucks, and it was written from the point of view of somebody in the concert business. He says, "Look, this is money for Nashville. This is money for
gosh,
all.
yeah.
Look at all these people who are employed. There's 50 trucks it takes to deliver that show,
And produce it. And
yeah.
staff
So not
it.
only do you have the road crew
Amazing.
that travels with her, but every city she'll hire. I mean, the company that hires, I don't know how many local
And all the concessionaires and
Yeah.
people that work in the stadium.
I mean, how many people do you know locally? I guess because I'm in that kind of that business-ish, who every time there's a show at Thompson Bowling Arena, they all get hired as day workers.
Yeah.
And they make
a fair number of people. And a lot of them do it to fundraise for like Little League baseball and their kids' athletics, stuff like that.
The people I know just need work.
Yeah, that too. But, there's a little bit of both.
So where I was heading with that, though, is Bean was asking me, and he's lived all over the world. His father's in the Navy. So he's half British, half American. And he's lived in Maryland and California and Washington and Louisiana and Arizona. And he was trying to decide, how he feels. I think he thinks of himself as British.
Okay.
Mostly.
Does he have an accent?
No. So he's trying to get on the radio in Britain without a British accent. It's hilarious.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a bummer.
So he keeps using words like schedule and controversy.
Just to make it sound legit.
Yeah, he sends me these little air checks of himself using schedule and controversy. Good luck. You're doing great.
Keep it up.
You're doing great. Keep it up. But he doesn't have an English accent. But I thought about it, and I've lived in 4 states in my life.
Which ones?
Well, Tennessee, obviously.
Right.
Before that, I lived in California for 10 years.
Yes.
And before that, I lived in Northern Virginia, the D.C. area, for about 12 years. And before that, New York, for about 18 years.
Okay.
So, of all of those places, which one am I?
Well, what do you think?
It's hard to say.
What resonates with you? Well,
I like it here.
Okay.
And I don't intend to leave Tennessee. I'm thinking, I was looking at cemeteries.
This was a happy conversation.
Well,
so are you planning ahead?
I saw a thing. I got a notice in my church bulletin that said, "Oh, by the way, the bishop's going to be doing a mass at the Catholic cemetery on Memorial Day. We're hoping a lot of people will come." Mm-hmm. So I hit the link for Google Maps because I didn't know where it was. Yeah. Turns out it's 7/10 of a mile from PBS.
Oh, wow. So did you go check it out?
Not yet, but I went on Google Maps and I was looking at all the cemetery pictures.
Not MapQuest. Google Maps.
Well, yes, I use Google Maps. So, but they have nice pictures of the cemetery. Okay. And I thought, I hadn't thought about that one really, but it's the only Catholic cemetery in the region. So I'm planning to be buried in Tennessee. I think that's my plan. I mean, ultimately I don't get to decide because I'm dead.
Yes. But I think it's an incredible gift to give that to your family in terms of...
Well, I haven't done it. I mean, all I've done is...
in terms of planning it.
Well, we've got some of the documents with Ann McKinney. They're in her safe over there. But I don't have a plot. I don't have a funeral home. I don't have any of that figured out.
Yeah, well, you better hurry it up because it just gets more and more expensive every year. Not hurry up and die. Hurry up and make your plan. Let me be clear about that. Hurry up and make your plan.
Okay.
But I think that's a nice thing.
Because I'm getting closer to death.
I think that's no. You're going to live forever.
Because I'm going to get that magical potion that's going to make me look thinner and younger.
Yes. I'll
look thinner and feel younger.
You'll come in looking like Captain America.
I just got to mix it with 6 ounces of water every morning.
Yeah, just chug it back.
So I think of, but I can't think of myself as a Tennessean because I'm always reminded that I'm not from around here.
Why is that? Because your accent or?
Mainly because I can fake a Tennessee accent, but it's obviously
What does
fake.
it sound like? What does the fake Tennessee accent sound like? I've got to know. As someone who is told constantly with the company I work for, I talk to people all over the country, and they go, "You must be from the South."
Well, we can stop at Woggles.
Yeah, there you go. That's pretty good.
I used to love going to Pilot.
Pilot.
Yeah, but when Pilot's not there anymore, now I go to Woggles.
Yeah. Fixing to go to Woggles.
I know. I know.
You gotta accentuate.
You take the I and flatten it.
There you go.
So instead of I know, it becomes I know.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Well, the trick to accents is, in my opinion, vowels and the letter R.
Okay.
Because that's where if you're listening for an accent and you're trying to copy it for comedy purposes, you want to listen to the vowel sounds and the R sounds.
Okay.
Like in some places add extra R to a word and other places drop the R altogether.
Okay.
Like in New York, you almost drop the R in New York. You don't say New York. Mm-hmm. It's New York.
Yeah. It's like butter.
Yeah. You drop the R at the end. It's not even really there.
Yeah.
But I would probably, in reality, still think of myself as a New Yorker because I was born there. I grew up there. and lived there 18 years. But now I have now lived in Tennessee 20 years. So Tennessee wins.
It just wins by
length of time.
Yeah, duration.
Right?
Okay.
But I mean, I don't want to move again. It's too much trouble. I mean, I'd love to be closer to my kids and grandkids, but they keep moving further away.
Why are they doing that?
I'm meaning that my son lives 8 hours that away, and my daughter lives 8 hours that away.
You just need to adopt and employ some good old-fashioned Southern guilt. You just need to take the papaw hat and put it on. I'm sure they don't call you papaw. I'm sure they call you grandfather. Yeah,
grandfather.
That's great.
Hello, grandfather.
No, you just need to switch it up on them.
It depends. Each one of them calls me something a little different.
Yeah, say I'm papaw now, and I'm going to give you the good old-fashioned Southern guilt that y'all need to come visit me more often because I'm not getting any younger. And you're just killing, your poor grandma.
The grandsons. There's 3 boys, 2 girls. So the 3 boys generally call me grandpa, and they get to come to grandma and grandpa camp over the summer.
Okay.
So we'll have, last year we had the 2 of them for a week, and then we traded them out for the oldest one.
Okay.
The oldest one, and we had
not
him.
all at once. You don't do it all at once. It's a lot. It's a lot of energy.
It's a lot on Grandpa here.
Yeah.
Because Grandma gets to go to work. Grandpa works at home.
Yes. Oh, I work at home. I know how that is. And our kids are grown. Our kids are 19 and 21, and it's not not fun, people.
If I'm trying to do a radio show.
Yes, exactly.
And the kids are running around, they're bored out of their minds. They don't want to watch me do radio.
They're not quiet the whole time? Silent?
Well, the oldest one, he gets it because first of all, he wants to be on radio and TV. So he'll go, and I won't even know. He'll watch a show. He'll watch a Wii. He'll play with the Wii machine on mute, and he'll not a peep out of him.
Yeah.
But he's also very much like me.
Very focused.
He and I are very much alike.
Yeah.
And the other 2 are. I think I told the story about how they almost burned down the house, so we'll save that for another time. You can Google, you can find that one in the archives.
You got to keep eyes on them.
Yeah, within 30 minutes of getting here, they took one of Jerry's bracelets and tried to hide it behind a nightlight, and it. Thankfully,
that's strong.
I can show you the scorch mark on the wall, but thankfully the bracelet melted, or they would have killed themselves and burned down the house.
Now you know why I didn't birth children.
Anyway, but then Lucy, who is coming up on 3, she calls me either Pop Pop or because she'll tell this, say I want to show Pop Pop, and
that's cute.
So my daughter will FaceTime and say, "Okay, Lucy, what do you want to show Pop Pop?" And nothing. She runs away. We figured out what it meant. It was not that she doesn't have anything to show Pop Pop.
Okay.
She wants my daughter to show her Pop Pop. Show Pop Pop on the screen.
Yeah, just
I didn't
see
realize
a photo.
I'm not used to the new phone that comes on every time I look at it.
Those newfangled things, that we've had for like 15 years.
No, I had an old one that practically had to you had to push all these buttons to make it light up.
Oh. Okay.
And now
it was like an iPhone 3 or something.
8, but
at
still.
8. That's an old one.
I got 5 years out of it.
That's pretty good.
5+ years, almost 5.5.
That's pretty
And
good.
then I had to get a newer one, and now I have a newer one. So lucky me. Now Jerry, we have to get Jerry a new one next. So.
Yeah, always fun.
All right, so that answers the question.
Yeah.
Right? What am I?
So you're a New Yorker.
I guess.
Yeah.
You know what has helped me in one regard is I've picked up a second, I can't say second job, I've picked up a 6th job.
Yeah, you've got a lot of jobs, my friend.
Where I'm doing
many jobs.
doing a radio show every day for upstate New York. And it's not
fun.
that far from where I was born.
Yeah.
It's actually the same, their TV stations are from
There you go.
where I was born.
That's your connection.
So I get on there, and I'm looking for things to talk about, and I'm like, oh, well, I guess I can talk about Saratoga racetrack. I'm like, my father used to love, I don't put on the accent. I just talk about, hey, my dad used to, he loved going to Saratoga racetrack every year, and now you can go over there and blah, blah, blah. Or go to SPAC, the Saratoga Performing Arts Center, because what a show they're going to have.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So how many radio shows? So you're 3 now. You've got 3 radio shows.
2 a day.
Okay.
3, what, am I missing one?
No, I don't know.
Well, I got Knoxville, 104.9 Lake FM. And then I have to switch gears and do 93.5 Lake George Radio. So occasionally I will screw up and I'll have to go back. Thankfully, I'm pre-recording it and sending it to New York. I don't have to drive to New York and do it live.
See, I've known you for such a long time that I always want to put you at other stations that you frequented in the past.
Yes.
But you're not there anymore.
No.
But you're eternally there in my eyes and my heart. You're still
That's because you don't listen to me anymore. You listen to my news station, you'd be like, oh, there he is.
I'm kind of a podcast person now. Like this is very much my speed. Yeah, exactly. Like it's on demand.
Yeah.
You know, I'm learning something new. Typically with podcasts. I'm trying to
Well,
better myself.
I love podcasts, and thank you for being on this one.
Yes.
In fact, if you love podcasts so much, I highly recommend that you go to audibletrial.com/FrankenFriends show. You can use that as a way to discover new podcasts, as a way to listen to this one, and as a way to listen to, I don't know, all sorts of books, whether they're by Jefferson Bass or by whomever. My friend Gene Masters, his book is on there. Find something you can listen to, and when you go to audibletrial.com/FrankenFriends show, you get a free 30-day premium membership.
I'm doing that.
Which means,
right after this,
because if you can sign up for premium membership, but and every month you get a credit for an MP3 download. Okay, so what does that mean? Normally on Audible you can stream a book, right, and not necessarily keep it, but sometimes you get the ones that you want to download and just keep. And that's what you can get. Once a month you can download an MP3, and during your free trial month you can use that MP3 credit to download the longest book you can. Some books are so long, you need 2 credits.
My goodness.
You need 2 credits for them. But anyway, you'll get 1 credit during each month. Bank them, don't use them, whatever. And then if they'll assume, of course, that you're going to stay on because you're going to love it, but you can cancel anytime if you don't like it. And just drive around listening to podcasts, listening to audiobooks.
I'm going to the beach soon, so that's what I want to do.
And there's so many new every week. There's new audiobooks.
I still haven't listened to. I almost said Harry Styles. Wrong Harry, Prince Harry's book. I know that was like a thing 6 months ago. I still haven't listened to it.
Oh, Wrong Harry.
Yes.
Wrong Harry. I was like, who's Ron Harry? That's your Tennessee accent. Oh, I listen to Ron Harry.
Prince Harry. I don't know what accent that just was.
He, I believe, reads it himself and talks about his private bits.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you can get all of those things. I've heard the clips.
I didn't know.
You can get all of those things when you go to audibletrial.com/FrankenFriends show. Thank you for the support. You can also support us, obviously, by subscribing on YouTube, ringing the bell for notifications, and by buying the merch, the fabulous merch, like the bucket hat, you said you're going to buy that too.
I'm 100% going to buy the bucket hat.
I'm glad you married a rich lawyer.
I make my own money, friend.
I'm glad you're rich.
Because we work in tech.
I forget. See, now you remember how you think of me as 3 radio stations ago?
Yes, and I'm not going to plug them by saying any of their names.
I'm not. Yeah, they're not allowed to. They're not even allowed to mention my name on there.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
I know, because
I'm lost out, man.
I'm big time now.
What the heck? Yeah.
But I still think of you. I still think of you as my friend who belovedly donates her time to so many great nonprofits.
I do, but just.
I mean, back then when you worked in nonprofit, and you and I would talk about how we were underpaid all the time. But these were the conversations we'd have.
Yeah, and then I sold out, went to corporate.
See, good for you, but that's the part I haven't, you haven't gotten, remember that I've got different radio stations. I forget the part of you.
Frozen in time.
I forget that you sold out.
Yeah, well, it's like when you see someone's child that you think of as being 3 and now they're like 20 or 14.
Yeah.
And you go, oh yeah, you're not.
They're old now.
Little child anymore.
It's surprising.
Yeah. It is surprising. As you get older, you're not as aware of stuff like that anymore, or you forget. I don't know. Maybe I'm going senile.
Well, no. It just depends. I think in life we spend, you and I would spend much more time together when you worked at the fair.
Yes. Yeah.
Because we would see each other throughout the course of the year, and I would come to fair events, and you'd come over to the radio station, and I'd interview you, and we had, so you could probably say during the course of a given year, we would see each other minimum 5 times.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Probably more like 6 to 12.
Yes. Yeah, but back then I was like, because I was always doing something.
But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right. So now it's been a year since I've seen you.
I know, a whole year.
And I forgot that you sold out to corporate.
I know. And I sold out 3 years ago.
Yeah. See, I still remember, I kind of vaguely remember that job you had with the universities of, didn't you work for something that had to do with universities?
I don't know.
All right, never mind.
I can tell you all the nonprofits I was with, but yeah, the fair was.
So after that, it was
a hot minute ago. I worked with Sertoma Center.
That's right.
Great organization.
Maybe that's
Worked with the Muse Knoxville.
Yes.
But that's when COVID got me because I went and went back to school and did an MBA because my goal was to become well versed in finance and things of that sort, accounting, so that I could run a nonprofit one day. That was kind of like my dream. And then COVID killed that dream completely. Had to go to a corporate job,
And look at you now.
then stayed.
Got a fancy car.
Just sold my soul out.
Got a fancy dog.
Completely to capitalism. Yeah, I did get a fancy dog.
Well, we love you.
Yes. Thank you. Despite those things.
And I also love you because we didn't use up any of the topics on the list. I can save them all for next time.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Woo, I am to please. Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope
and I
you'll
didn't
come-
curse.
No, you
I
did.
behaved
You did a good
myself.
job.
Yeah.
I caught you. I noticed that very well.
Yeah.
Let's hear it for Sarah Roberto, everyone.
Thank you so much.
All right. That's it. I guess that's it, right? We're done. Said all the plugs. This is the Frank and Friends Show. I'm Frank Murphy,
I'm Sarah Roberto.
and we'll talk to you again next time.
Bye.